two heartwarming sisters desperately ask to pay later for bread. Millionaire's incredible act truly changes their lives. Rain hammered the streets of Rosewood, mirroring the storm in the hearts of two sisters, Lily and Emma. The little bakery they had inherited from their father, a devoted veteran now fighting a grave illness, felt heavy with despair. Their father's smiling face faded into memories as medical bills piled high, threatening to swallow their dreams whole. With empty stomachs growling like thunder, the sisters entered the local grocery store, each one dragging a weight of worry that pressed on their chests. They exchanged worried glances, a silent agreement passing between them. With shaky breaths, they approached the store owner, the warm aroma of bread teasing their senses, but their hearts beat faster with anxiety. "Mr. Johnson," Lily began, her voice barely a whisper, "could we pay later for just one loaf?" A moment stretched like taffy as Mr. Johnson's brow furrowed, and Emma felt tears pricking her eyes. Suddenly, an imposing figure strolling through the aisles overheard their conversation. Jason was in town, a millionaire so successful he could be walked past without a glance, but the raw honesty in the sister's plea pulled him in. Memories of his own tough upbringing enveloped him, igniting a flicker of empathy. "Excuse me," Jason interrupted, stepping closer, urgency in his voice. "These girls aren't beggars, they are the backbone of this community. Their father, a veteran, deserves our respect, not judgment." His words held the power of thunder as people began to notice, murmurs rippling through the small crowd gathered around the checkout. As Jason dug deeper into their story, a wave of revelation washed over him. He remembered their father, a man who had once shown him kindness when he had nothing. The realization hit him like lightning, sparking a fire within him. He turned back to the sisters, determination etched on his features. "You aren't alone. I will help you. Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. The news spread like wildfire. Neighbors who had once only exchanged polite smiles now rallied behind the sisters. Local families shared stories of the bakery, of the cakes baked for birthdays, the loaves shared with those in need. A movement was born, inspiring the community to band together, reclaiming the values that kept them whole. Yet as the sisters took center stage, a bitter sense of pressure gripped them. They felt the weight of their father's legacy and the gaze of a town that seemed to expect miracles. Each triumph was cheered, but the failure loomed darker than storm clouds. They learned about setting up fundraisers, organizing bake sales, and even a night of open mic at the bakery. But just as they began to see rays of hope, an unexpected setback hit like a punch to the gut. A hefty tax bill arrived, knocking the wind out of their sails. Lily and Emma stood outside the bakery, the rain falling in relentless sheets, feeling the fear creeping in. They stared at the closing doors, pondering if their values and newfound support would make a difference against the tides of economic injustice. Would their relentless spirit and the town's unity be enough to defy the odds, or was this where hope would finally slip from their grasp? The door to the bakery felt heavier than ever, like a weight pulling at Lily and Emma's hearts. The once vibrant space, filled with the aroma of baking bread and laughter, now felt hollow and echoed their despair. "What do we do now?" Emma whispered, her gaze fixed on the puddles collecting on the sidewalk. Lily sighed, pulling her sister close. "We can't let this break us. We have to think, maybe we can reach out to the community for help again." But doubt nipped at her words. After their recent efforts, the sisters worried they had exhausted their goodwill. As the rain continued to fall, it wasn't just the weather that was dreary. The sisters' minds raced with possibilities. "Maybe we can set up a GoFundMe," Emma suggested hesitantly. "People might want to help us directly." "Or we could hold another bake sale," Lily replied, her mind turning with ideas. "But with what? We barely have the ingredients left. Just then, a familiar voice broke through the murmur of the rain. Hey, Lily. Emma. It was Jason, rushing towards them with an urgency that sent a pulse of hope shooting through Lily's chest. His wet hair plastered to his forehead bore testimony to the downpour, but his eyes held a spark of determination. What's wrong? He asked, noticing their downcast expressions. The sisters exchanged a glance and shared their latest nightmare of bills. Jason listened intently, nodding. You two have already inspired so many, he said. This tax bill isn't the end. Let us rally everyone again. I'll donate whatever it takes to keep this bakery alive. Are you sure? Emma's voice trembled with unexpected relief. We don't want to be a burden. You're not a burden, Jason reassured, his expression softening. You're part of this community. Together, we can find a way to keep your father's legacy going. Fired up by Jason's words, Lily felt her spirit lift just a little. Okay. Let us do it. We can post on social media and make plans, she suggested, each idea igniting a flicker of possibility. They spent the next hours brainstorming, standing side by side as they outlined their plans. The rain started to lighten, as if nature itself was lifting the weight pressing upon them. Let us host a legacy night at the bakery, Jason proposed. We can honor your dad, share his story, and roast coffee, sell treats. The sisters exchanged excited looks. It could work, Emma said. People love stories. They want to honor him. They spent the following week preparing, fueled by a renewed hope. As word spread about the upcoming event, the community's support surged once again. Neighbors dropped off supplies, baked goods, and heartfelt messages. Lily and Emma smiled through the exhaustion, grateful for the chance to shine a light on their father's memory, but, as the night of the event loomed closer, Emma caught sight of the tax bill resting ominously on the counter. The panic bubbled just beneath her hopeful facade. What if this wasn't enough? What if they still lost it all? On the day of the event, as they set up, a surprise visitor entered the bakery, someone from the town whose judgment had stung deep not long ago. The sisters' hearts raced. Would their efforts be met with support, or judgment once more? Look at all this, the visitor commented, taking in the festively decorated space. It seems like you're up to something special. But would these simple words lead to something profound, or would it be yet another disappointment? The sisters found themselves on a precipice, unsure if the support they felt could withstand the truth that loomed ahead. The evening of the legacy night arrived, and the bakery buzzed with energy. Fairy lights twinkled, casting a warm glow over the rustic decor. The scent of freshly baked goods filled the air, and laughter echoed against the walls that had seen so many joyful moments. But amidst the camaraderie, tension hung like a thin veil. Do you think anyone will come? Emma's voice was barely above a whisper, her fingers nervously fiddling with the hem of her shirt. They will, Lily assured her, though the unease in her own heart echoed Emma's uncertainty. They care about Dad. They want to support him. As if on cue, the door swung open, and familiar faces filed in. Neighbors, friends, even the elderly couple from down the street who had shared countless coffee breaks with their father, all contributed to a growing crowd. Enthusiasm surged through the sisters. With each arrival, their hearts warmed a little more. Jason stepped up beside them, his energy infectious. See. They love this place. Just wait until you share the story. Thank you for being part of this, Lily said, glancing over at the bustling room. We couldn't have done it without you. As they took their positions by the counter, Emma spotted the visitor from earlier, standing at the back, arms crossed, wearing that same critical expression. A swell of anxiety twisted in her stomach. Focus on the good, Lily urged under her breath. You've got this. Taking a deep breath, Lily stepped up to the makeshift stage, heart racing as the room quieted, eyes on her. Thank you all for coming. Tonight isn't just about making money, it's about remembering my dad. He believed in baking as a way to bring people together. Her voice cracked slightly, but she pressed on. When he started this bakery, he wanted a place that felt like home. He taught Emma and me that every loaf of bread was more than just food, it was love spread thick, memories baked in. We can't imagine losing that. A murmur of affirmation swept through the crowd. Emma watched her sister channel their father's spirit, tears dampening her eyes. She stepped forward to join her, holding the microphone like a lifeline. It's been hard, but we're here to honor him together. Just as Emma began recounting a favorite memory of their dad, laughter erupted from the back. It was the visitor, caught off guard as the heartwarming tales unfolded. Honestly, I couldn't understand what made this place so special before. You're really onto something here, the visitor admitted, a hint of respect creeping into her voice. Lily caught Emma's eye, hope blooming within her chest. Thank you, Emma replied, warmth evident in her tone. It's more than just a bakery, it's a legacy. The night rolled on, filled with stories, cookies, and coffee flowing freely. People shared their memories, reliving moments of joy. As the crowd clinked their cups in cheers, the sisters felt a genuine connection weaving through it all, but as the evening drew to a close, fear crept back. Emma glanced toward the donation jar on the counter, noticeably less full than they had hoped. Would it be enough? The last guests were leaving when the visitor approached them. I've been thinking your bakery means a lot more to this community than I realized, she said, hesitating, then continued, I want to help you. Heart thudding, Emma exchanged glances with Lily as the visitor pulled out her phone. What would this sudden change of heart mean? Let me help get the word out. No one should lose a place like this, she declared urgently, eyes shining with sincerity, but can help come from the unlikeliest places. The sisters stood there, both wonder and trepidation swirling within them. Their bakery depended on the very community they had fought for, yet could they trust someone who once doubted them? The night felt electric with possibility, and yet, shadows loomed ahead. Would this new alliance lead to salvation or expose deeper fears still lurking beneath the surface? The next morning dawned with a light drizzle, the kind that made the world seem like it was wrapped in a soft, gray blanket. Lily and Emma stood in the cozy kitchen of the bakery, a pot of coffee bubbling away, filling the air with a familiar comfort. The day's agenda lay heavy over them like the overcast sky outside. What do you think she meant? Emma asked, peering out the window as drops raced down the glass. The visitor, I mean. Can we really trust her? Lily leaned against the counter, her arms crossed as she considered Emma's question. I don't know. I feel like we have to take a chance. We can't give up now. With a determined nod, they finished prepping for the day's early customers. The cozy bakery, with its rustic charm, felt empty without the familiar bustle of the morning crowd. They needed people to see the beauty in their father's legacy. As the first customers trickled in, Emma's heart fluttered with hope. Regulars filled the seats, their laughter resonating like music. A couple of smiling families seated at the window table were busy making memories, and the comforting smells of cinnamon rolls and fresh coffee hung in the air. But in the back of her mind, doubt lingered. What if they couldn't raise the funds needed to save this place? The door swung open, and the visitor from the night before entered, her vibrant energy lighting up the gray day. Good morning, she exclaimed, a broad smile stretching across her face. I'm ready to help you both. Emma's heart sank and soared all at once. Hi. Thanks for coming, she said, cautiously measuring her words. First things first, she said, pulling a chair out and sitting down, we need to talk social media. You two have to share your story widely. She took out her phone and began tapping furiously. Do you have an Instagram page? Lily glanced at Emma, eyebrows raised. Not really a strong one. We can fix that, the visitor replied with determination, her eyes glimmering with enthusiasm. You need to show the world what your bakery means. Start with the heartwarming stories. I can do that, Emma said, suddenly feeling the urge to share their memories with everyone. We could make a video where we talk about Dad and what this place means to us. Exactly. The visitor's eyes brightened. A few good photos with heartfelt captions, a video of both of you sharing your favorite memories, and maybe even an online fundraiser. There's a whole community out there ready to support you. Lily felt a flicker of hope ignite. You really think that could work? I know it can, the visitor replied, confidence radiating from her. But we have to act fast. It's no use waiting, people need to know. I'll help organize it, we can do a live event right here. Emma's heart raced. Could this be the moment that changes everything? What if it doesn't go as planned? The visitor met Emma's worried gaze. Then we try again. You can't hit a home run without swinging the bat. The conversation was interrupted by the arrival of Jason, who had just finished his morning run. Hey, what's going on? He asked, catching the contagious excitement radiating from the table. Emma grinned, feeling the rush of adrenaline. We might be onto something big. Just wait until you hear our plan. Together, they began brainstorming ideas, feeling lighter with each passing minute. But in the back of Emma's mind, an unsettling thought nagged at her. Would they be able to pull this off? As they dove into the prospect of using social media to highlight their bakery's legacy, Lily's phone buzzed with a message. After glancing at the screen, her expression shifted from excitement to dread. Guys, there's trouble. Emma's heart lurched. What do you mean? Lily took a breath, her voice faltering. It looks like the landlord might have other plans for this building. We need to act before it's too late. The bakery felt suddenly smaller, tension wrapping around them like a tightening noose. Could they truly reclaim their legacy before it slipped through their fingers? This new threat loomed just as their hope began to blossom. The sisters shared a look of determination as the realization settled. Time wasn't just of the essence, it was dwindling fast. The atmosphere shifted in the bakery, electrified by the urgency of Lily's announcement. Emma felt her stomach twist. What kind of plans? She asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Lily read the message again, jaw clenched. He's considering turning the building into apartments. He mentioned some developers wanting the location. The news hit like a thunderclap. The bakery had been their haven for years, a sanctuary filled with memories from childhood. Lily's hands trembled as she typed a quick reply to the landlord, desperately pleading for any clarity. What do we do? Emma asked, her heart racing. We can't let this place go. Lily exhaled sharply. We need to put our plan into action. Fast. Right. We'll need to start posting the stories immediately, Emma said, feeling a rush of determination. The thought of losing their father's legacy fueled her resolve. Let's do a live stream, the visitor interjected, her enthusiasm undeterred by the news. We can announce your fundraiser, share stories, and let people know about the threat. You'll be surprised how many people want to help. And if we share Dad's recipes or even have a baking challenge? Maybe get people involved online? Emma suggested, her mind racing with ideas. Lily nodded, excitement mingling with anxiety. We need to rally the community. This bakery is more than just a business to us. It stands for family and love. The visitor's eyes sparkled. Exactly. And let's include testimonials from your customers. Everyone who has enjoyed this space can share what it means to them. People will rally for a cause that resonates. Jason, who had been quietly absorbing the intensity of the situation, chimed in. Once you get the ball rolling, it'll create a snowball effect. People want to support what they love. Emma felt the adrenaline rush in her veins. Okay. Let's get going then. We need to plan today, this hour. They cleared a space on the table cluttered with flour dust and baking sheets, transforming it into a makeshift command center. Ideas bounced back and forth like popcorn, each more vibrant than the last. The door swung open, and a few regulars walked in, their smiles quickly fading as they noticed the tension in the air. Hey, everything okay? One of them asked, concern evident on their faces. Emma exchanged a look with her sister and, without hesitation, stepped up. We're facing a challenge, and we need your help. Our bakery is at risk of being taken away from us. We're working on a plan to keep it going, but we can't do it alone. Gasps echoed through the room as she laid their situation bare, her voice steady despite the fear churning inside her. The regulars listened intently, their expressions shifting from confusion to determination. I can help spread the word. One woman exclaimed. I have a big network. That's what we need. Thank you. Emma said, her heart swelling with gratitude. As more customers joined in, sharing their own stories and offers of support, Emma felt a flicker of hope in the gloom. Maybe, just maybe, they could pull this off, but then, amid the chatter, a familiar face entered the landlord himself, a frown etched deep across his face. I need to speak with you, he said, his eyes piercing through the circle of well-wishers. The room fell silent, the air thickening with tension. Emma's heart sank as doubts fluttered in again. What would he say? This was the moment everything could change, and yet an unsettling question lingered in her mind. What did he really want? The stakes had never felt higher. Would they be able to save their bakery, or would this moment spiral into disaster? The landlord's presence cut through the room like a knife. As he stepped closer, Emma's heart raced. The loyal customers who had just pledged their support were now frozen, their hopeful expressions shifting into a mix of worry and curiosity. Can we step outside? He asked, his voice low but urgent. Emma shared a quick glance with Lily, unsure of what might happen next. There was a weight to his words that felt heavy in her gut. With a nod, she followed him through the bakery's door, leaving the crowd behind, anxiety bubbling just beneath the surface. Outside, the air was crisp, the scent of fresh bread wafting behind them as they stood beneath the awning, a shelter that had protected generations of memories. Emma inhaled deeply, trying to summon her courage. What is going on? She asked, her voice steadier than she felt. The landlord's face softened slightly. You girls don't know how much I've enjoyed watching this place thrive over the years. Your father built something special here. Emma's heart swelled with pride, but the worry still nagged at her. Then why consider selling? We can't lose this place. It means everything to us and to the community. He sighed, running a hand through his hair, and for a moment, Emma saw a flicker of vulnerability in his eyes. It's a business decision. I have debts to settle. This place has attracted attention, and I'm being offered a substantial amount to sell. Emma's chest tightened. You know what this bakery represents. It's not just a building. It's where families gather, where lives are shared. What if you let us show you how much it matters? We can rally everyone. His eyes narrowed. What about the financial side? Talk is cheap. What if we host a community event? A festival. We could raise funds, not just for us, but to support the neighborhood. People would come, I know they would. They'd donate, they'd buy our goodies. It could mean saving not just the bakery, but what it stands for. The landlord crossed his arms, skepticism etched across his face. And what if it fails? Emma felt genuine panic rising. It won't. If you give us a chance, we can prove it. People will come together. They already are. You saw it back there. They care. And so do we. We just need this opportunity. He studied her face, searching for that flicker of hope she was trying desperately to convey. And what if this plan of yours doesn't bring in enough? Then we'll find another way. I promise, we'll work day and night. We can even offer cooking classes or bake-offs for donations. Something. We won't stop until we explore every option. There was a beat of silence, tension crackling between them. Then, slowly, the corners of his mouth tugged into a reluctant smile. You're passionate, I'll give you that. Maybe I won't shut the door completely. Thank you so much. Emma exclaimed, trying to keep her excitement in check. But, he added, holding up a hand, this isn't a guarantee. You have to act fast. Emma nodded, a fresh wave of determination washing over her. We will. You'll see. We'll make this work. As the landlord turned to leave, Emma felt an exhilarating surge of hope. She knew the next steps were crucial. She needed to share this potential lifeline with her sister and the others inside. But with a single glance back at the bakery, a thought flashed through her mind. Could they really pull off such a grand event? As doubt crept in again, she asked herself one simple question: was hope enough to truly save the bakery? The answer hung in the air, heavy with anticipation, and something inside Emma knew this was just the beginning. Emma walked back inside, the door swinging softly behind her. The warm, inviting aroma of freshly baked bread wrapped around her like a comforting blanket, but her heart was still racing. The crowd inside was buzzing with anxious whispers, eyes filled with curiosity and concern. Lily was the first to approach her, worry etched across her features. What did he say? Is he really going to sell the place? Emma took a deep breath, pulling her sister close. He is considering it. But I convinced him to give us a chance to save it. We're going to host a community festival to raise funds. It could work, Lily. What kind of festival? Lily's brow furrowed in uncertainty. Something big. We can organize bake-offs, cooking classes, maybe even live music. We get the whole neighborhood involved. People care about this bakery, they want to help. Lily's eyes widened, the glimmer of hope flickering. But doubt quickly clouded her expression again. But what if we can't raise enough? What if no one shows up? Emma shook her head, determination bolstering her resolve. We can't think like that. Remember Dad's motto? If you don't try, you'll never know. We owe it to him and everyone who loves this place to try. Lily nodded slowly, the weight of Emma's words sinking in. Okay. So how do we start? Emma scanned the room, her mind racing with ideas. First, let us gather everyone who showed up today. We can form a planning committee, see what skills people have, and delegate tasks. Every bit helps. Good idea. I'll round everyone up. As Lily headed towards the crowd, Emma felt a swell of emotion. They weren't alone in this fight. The bakery had always been about community. It was in the bread, the laughter, the shared moments. The energy shifted, everyone chattering excitedly as the gravity of their mission settled in. Moments later, the room quieted as Lily called for everyone's attention. Emma stood beside her, adrenaline kicking in. Thank you all for being here today. We need your help more than ever. We're planning a festival to raise funds and save the bakery. The room buzzed to life again, a ripple of excitement coursing through the crowd. How can we help? Someone called out from the back. Emma beamed, her heart racing. We need bakers, musicians, people who can help coordinate. If you have ideas, we want to hear them. Every small contribution counts. As people began to share their talents and ideas, Emma felt a rush of warmth envelop her. This was it, the stirring of something so much bigger than herself. A shared purpose ignited the room. But as the meeting wore on, a creeping sense of doubt lingered at the back of Emma's mind. Would it be enough? Could they really pull off this festival, with all the pressure weighing on her shoulders? She shook off the uncertainty, focusing instead on the faces of those who believed in them. Hours flew by, ideas bouncing like popcorn, laughter mixing with the sense of the bakery. Emma scribbled notes, her heart echoing the rhythm of hope resonating through the kitchen. Seeing the community rally made her believe it was possible. As the sun set, casting warm shades of orange and pink through the windows, Emma took a moment to breathe it all in. But just as she was ready to relax, her phone buzzed with a message from the landlord. Emma, I need to see you again tomorrow morning. It's urgent. Her heart sank, anxiety creeping in again. What could this mean? As the laughter around her faded, Emma couldn't shake the feeling that tomorrow could change everything. The stakes were rising higher than ever, and they were still standing at the edge of the unknown. Emma felt the weight of the world as she lay in bed that night. The message from the landlord played over and over in her mind, urgent, hung like a dark cloud. She stared at the ceiling, thoughts cascading through her like a rushing river. What if he had changed his mind? What if he wasn't willing to give them the time they needed? She turned toward Lily's empty bed, wishing it wasn't so quiet in their small apartment. Morning came too soon, light slicing through the curtains. Emma slipped into her clothes with heavy eyes, a knot forming in her stomach. She needed to put on a brave face for the bakery, for the community counting on them. Today was crucial. Emma. Lily's voice broke through her thoughts. Emma turned to see her sister standing in the doorway, hair askew, still in her pajamas. You okay? With a weak smile, Emma nodded, although her heart didn't quite agree. Just, nervous about the meeting with Mr. Thompson. Lily crossed her arms, concern etched across her face. Maybe he'll surprise you. You said he was fair. Fair or not, it doesn't change what we're facing. Selling the bakery could break so many hearts. Lily stepped closer, her eyes steady. We're going to fight for this. Remember? We have the festival to look forward to. Let us show him how much this place means to us. Right, Emma said, feeling a flicker of resolve as she nodded. Together, they rushed to get ready and made their way to the bakery, the aroma of fresh bread filling the air even before they walked through the door. Inside, the community was already bustling. Emma felt warmth spreading through her. Volunteers were setting up tables, chalkboards with festival plans were being made, and laughter rang like music. Friends and neighbors were putting extra efforts into bringing ideas to life, buoyed by purpose. Good morning, everyone. Emma called, her voice breaking the morning chatter. The group turned their attention to her, expectant and eager. We have a big meeting today. We need to keep that momentum going, so let us dive into planning. But first, can we all take a moment to appreciate what we have? Emma gestured to the bakery around them. Every loaf of bread baked here brings us together. This festival isn't just about raising money, it's about saving our family, our community. People nodded, and she could feel their energy shift, rising. It was contagious. She went on to discuss the prep required for the festival. Volunteers raised their hands to tackle tasks, bakers gathered flour and eggs, budding musicians discussed set lists, while others brainstormed games for kids. An air of teamwork electrified the room, and then, just as Emma started to relax, her phone buzzed again. It was a message from Mr. Thompson, arriving sooner than expected. Let's discuss your plans. A chorus of nervous laughter surrounded her. How do I sound? She joked, feigning confidence. But inside, her heart raced again, doubt slinking back as she watched familiar faces bustling with excitement around her. Emma's apprehension mingled with determination. This was their chance. No matter what news awaited her from Mr. Thompson, they were in this together, but as she prepared to step into the unknown, one question played on her mind: could one conversation really decide the fate of everything they held dear? Tomorrow loomed closer as all eyes turned to her, waiting for a leader, a beacon amidst uncertainty. Emma took a deep breath, steadying herself. The laughter of friends and neighbors filled the bakery, a comforting backdrop to her rising anxiety. But with every chuckle, every cheer, she felt the weight of responsibility pressing down on her shoulders. The hands she grasped for support were real, tangible. They cradled flour, they poured sugar, they shared smiles. She couldn't let them down. Okay, everyone. She called, trying to inject energy into her voice. Let us set some priorities. I'll start with decorations. We want the festival to feel festive. Hands flew up, and the enthusiasm was infectious. Emma felt her heart lighten just a bit as she watched Lucy, the local florist, bounce on her toes, ready to take charge. I can get flowers and help with centerpieces. Perfect. Emma replied, her spirits soaring. And let us make sure the bread station is stocked all day. We have to remind our community of what this bakery stands for. As discussions flowed and tasks were assigned, Emma's mind wandered to Mr. Thompson. Would he be moved by the spirit she saw here today? Or was their fight already doomed? The bakery door swung open, and a gust of cool air swept through, followed by the unmistakable figure of Mr. Thompson. Emma's heart stumbled, uncertainty clawing at her resolve. He was a man of means, yes, but years ago, he had been part of this community, just like them. "Good morning, everyone," he boomed, his polished smile brightening the room. "I came to see how the plans for the festival are shaping up." Emma felt the room tighten, a shared breath held in anticipation. "We're in the thick of it," she said, forcing cheerfulness into her tone. "Excited to see how your visit fits in with our plans." Mr. Thompson nodded, his brow slightly furrowed. "I've heard great things about this festival. You're really creating a buzz." "Exactly." Emma pressed on, nervously pushing a stray hair behind her ear. "This event is more than just a moneymaker for us. It's about community. It's about family. We really need this to work." His expression softened, but doubt lingered in his eyes. "I understand the importance, but you have to understand my position too. I'm not just thinking about your bakery, Emma." Emma's pulse quickened. "But what about the families who depend on us?" she managed to say, urgency spilling through her words. "What will happen if we lose this space? This bakery is the heart of our community." A flicker of something, perhaps empathy, crossed his face. She caught it, a brief crack in the facade. Could she push that slightly further? "You know," she said, her voice steadying as she found courage from somewhere deep inside, "I believe this festival can do more than raise money. It can show you exactly what this bakery means. It's our history, our shared moments." Silence hung heavy, electric. Finally, Mr. Thompson spoke again. "You make a compelling point, Emma. I need to think about this." "Please," she interjected, desperate. "Give us a chance to show you. Let our community uplift this place, let us stand united. We can find a way." Lily stepped beside her, an unwavering force. "We can't just stand by and let it all go without a fight. Together, we can make it happen." Emma's heart hammered. The eyes in the room shifted from Mr. Thompson to the sisters, awaiting the verdict of their plea. Would today be the day they gained a new ally, or was it the moment everything slipped away? Emma felt time stretch out before her like an endless road, where every twist and turn could lead to heartbreak or hope. And as Mr. Thompson's gaze settled on them, she realized then this wasn't just about money or property anymore. It was about soul, identity, and the very fabric of a community trying to stand strong despite the storms threatening to tear it apart. What would Mr. Thompson decide? Mr. Thompson shifted his weight, his gaze piercing through the room, taking in the faces of those who stood with Lily and Emma. Each one bore marks of determination, of hope that had been stirred anew by the sisters' fight. Just moments ago, the bakery had felt on the verge of slipping away, now it surged with energy, with heart. "I can see how much this means to everyone," he finally said, his voice steadier than before. "But action speaks louder than words. If you're serious about this festival, show me the potential. Bring me the numbers. I want documented proof of community support. Fill this place to its rafters and make it shine." The sisters exchanged a look, surprise and hope battling in their eyes. Lily leaned toward Emma, excitement bubbling over. "We can show him what we can do." "Thanks for giving us a chance," Emma replied, her heart swelling as Mr. Thompson offered a cautious smile before stepping out. Once he was gone, the bakery transformed into a hive of renewed energy. "All right, everyone. We have a festival to plan," Emma called out, her heart lighter as momentum surged. With unyielding spirits, each person shared how they would contribute: bakers, musicians, local artists, all eager to help keep the bakery alive. Emma felt buoyed by their excitement. With the festival set for next weekend, the days blurred together in a whirlwind of flour and laughter as they worked relentlessly. They decorated, baked, and even organized a live stream for the world to see the bakery's heartbeat. As the festival day dawned, the sky turned a brilliant blue, sunshine streaming through the windows like a heavenly spotlight. The interior glowed with decorations, a beautiful tapestry of every color, each telling a story, every baked good an offering to the community. At midday, the bakery was buzzing. Families filled the chairs, laughter spilling over like the aroma of fresh bread. Emma's heart soared as she watched faces light up from the simple joy of being together. She caught sight of Mr. Thompson's silhouette at the door, uncertainty etched on his features. Is this enough? Emma wondered, her insides knotting with nerves. As the event unfolded, stories were shared, dances celebrated, and the true essence of the bakery fused everyone into one. Hours later, as dusk fell, the bakery brimmed with love, every belly and heart filled with gratitude. Finally, as the last customers trickled out, Emma took the stage. Thank you all. Tonight didn't just bring support for the bakery, it reaffirmed the power of community. The crowd applauded, laughter mingling with applause. Afterward, Mr. Thompson approached the sisters, a sense of warmth radiating from his demeanor. You did it, he said evenly, a hint of pride flashing in his eyes. Emma beamed, hardly able to contain her excitement. We couldn't have without everyone's help. While I still have debts that need settling, I see the potential here. Consider this. He paused, reaching for a folder in his hand and flipping it open. A partnership. If we can get more events like this off the ground, it could provide both income and community engagement. If you're willing to work with me, I think we can save this bakery. Emma's heart danced. Really? You mean it? Absolutely. Just give me the detailed plans, and we'll consider how we can maximize these opportunities. Relief washed over Emma like the warm sunlight flooding through the windows. In that moment, Lily hugged her tightly, both knowing they had forged a new path for not just the bakery, but for their family's legacy. As Emma reflected on the days gone by, those moments of despair had transformed into hope and unity. They had come together, myriads of differences merging into one purpose. Standing shoulder to shoulder in their bakery, filled with warmth from the community gathered around them, the realization struck Emma deep. This is only the beginning. But she knew one thing for certain, love and resilience could create miracles. And they had just begun transforming not just a bakery, but the hearts of everyone. As everything settled back into regular rhythm, one urgent reality rang true: this journey wasn't over, and neither was the call to action. You need to subscribe now to follow this incredible journey and not miss the next stories of resilience. Leave a like now to support this community and help the algorithm spread their story. Comment below with your thoughts, reactions, and feelings about this amazing transformation. Don't wait not even one more second to share this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this transformation and experience the power of community.